And because when you hold down, you can kind of get a cool sound like that when you're using the sampler. If you're a beat maker or you're creating sounds here in GarageBand, this is going to be a pretty cool pack for you, because I've already started playing around with it in the tutorial video that I originally did, which you can check out down in the description, but I didn't spend a lot of time with it. What I like to do when I'm playing around with the pack is, first of all, I'm going to add in one of the loops. So one of the basic loops that we have here in Apple Loops. So I'm just here in my regular screen. We're going to hit the loop button there, and we're going to hit filter by. Now, if you go to your sound packs there, you can scroll on down and you can actually filter by just the modular rhythms. Most of you know this, but I know that we have new viewers every week to this show. So we'll go there, we'll go back to Apple Loops, and now we can play around and find something that's going to work. So I usually start with something, so you've got a lot of toppers here. I usually start with something that's going to be more of like just the basic beat. So what's a bit of dirt and grime maybe? Let's sample a few of these. That's a bit extreme. Was it the dark automation? I like that one. It's got a few like bubbles and it's got a bit of a cool syncopated rhythm. So let's bring this dark automation into here and whack it down there. We'll do that. We'll do an 8-bar little loop here. So we'll just make that 4 bars and then we'll vary it up. So this is the fun that you can have with these loops. We'll vary up that. We'll use the dark automation 2 maybe. Yeah, so we'll go from that to that. So then we're going to get this sort of sound with a few pops. I like it. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's easy to say, oh, it's very Trent Reznor, it's very industrial, but I definitely do get an industrial feel from this. So that's our basic sort of bed. Now we can sort of play around with this a little bit. So the other way I like to add drums, if we hit the plus button here, is to use the beat sequencer, because to me, this can help you kind of shape the sound that you're looking for and where those hits come in here. So we'll go to the beat sequencer here, and the first thing I want to do is select my kit. So down to the bottom left, we're going to tap that. We're going to go to recently downloaded. We're going to go, I keep forgetting the name of this pack. It is the Modular, where are you, Modular? Of course, it's not in alphabetical order. It's in just a random order of no particular importance. All right, we'll go with one of these. And why don't we go with the Micro Modular? I don't think I've played with this one. No, I don't love that. Let's try something else. We will go with one of the the Plonky. The Plonky is the one that I like, because this has like this sort of kick drum here. Now, if we want to blank this out, what we need to do is tap on this one here, and this is going to go to our pattern browser. Sadly, there's no easy way except to scroll all the way to the left. And I don't think they designed this thinking that there would be that many different patterns and that many different drum kits, but we just need a new pattern here. So what we want to do is work out where our kick drum hits are going to be on this particular pattern. So we'll just turn it off for now. I'm just going to listen to the background. So I'm hearing, yeah, so it's doing the dom, dom. So I think it's there and there, is it? So I'll line this up with that. Do, do. Do. Do, do. We need a little gap there. No, I think it's going to just be there and there. Do, 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 do. I think that's the rhythm. Now if we hit the play button with this. Yes, and now we need some hats. We need something high in here. So I think the hi-hats are going to be sort of on the off beats here. So let's see if we can get this going on. Something like that. Bring that in with our beat. I kind of like that. So that's kind of our basic beat there. And the good thing about the beat sequencer is you've got a lot more control than just using your regular loops. So we'll hit the record button and then we'll hit the play button here, the little power button here, and this will record this beat sequencer over the top of our loop. And what we'll do is we'll vary this up on the fly. There you go. So you can change it. You can actually change your pattern as you play, and it will change what you've got there. So I think that's a good sort of basis for something like this to give us this kind of rhythm. Let's go back and find something that's a little bit fun, that's a topper now. So we'll go back to our loops here, and we'll scroll down to the bottom, because the ones that start with like numbers later in the alphabet often don't get a lot of love. So let's try some of these tricky rhythm things. No, we need something a bit higher up. So we'll go to the topper, actually. That's not bad. That'd be a good one for like a break in the second half. Yeah, so let's go with the number 3 to start with, like that. Just scroll out a bit so we can grab the end handle. We'll make that for our first half. And then I kind of liked the number 4 for the second half. And again, we'll vary that and bring it back, because I recorded a little bit too long. So we just want the 8 bars. So now we've got these toppers on the top here. That's kind of cool. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to make some really complex and interesting syncopated rhythms in here. Now, of course, the one limitation of this pack is that it only has rhythm sounds. It doesn't actually have any melodic sounds. However, there is kind of a workaround where you can use anything as a melodic sound, and that is our sampler. So I thought I would show that here because it's underrated in terms of options you have here in GarageBand. So if we come to our keyboard, we're going to tap on the sampler here. And what we're going to do, yes, we could use our dog bark, but I don't think we want to do that. We can actually import samples, and we can import loops from our sound packs. So if you tap on the bark button, the button at the top there, and you go to import, not only can you import your own files, but you can import directly from Apple Loops. And you can see here, it'll actually filter however you've got your Apple Loops filtered. So we can actually find a loop here. Now, the problem with a loop is obviously you generally want a one shot if you're using something like this. But if we grab something like, say, Rusty Circuits here, we'll just tap on it. Now, we need something that's a bit more melodic. So maybe this one here. That could be fun. So what we'll do is we'll hit the import button there. That's going to bring this in here. And now when we hit the keyboard, it's going to play that whole loop. And we can do that. Now you probably realize that we don't want a whole loop. We just want part of that. So what you can actually do is you can trim it down. You can use these trim handles. Now, sadly, you can't trim it down any smaller than that. But what I tend to find is that you can find something like this that you can just, oh, there you go. You know what? I just learned something. If you tap and hold, I forgot that you have the zoom function. Isn't it amazing? If you tap and hold, it'll zoom in and it gives you more precise control over your start and finish. You've still got a minimum, I think, of like half a second there. But now, so it's still got that little tick afterwards because you can't get it any smaller than that. Let's just see if we can, is there anything that we can grab that's not going to be like that? No, everything is so much going on in these loops that you can't just isolate. But if we use it up high like I'm planning to, so if we go up an octave or two, cool. Now let's try, there is an option in here. If we go to our details, can we do the detect pitch? I don't think we can with this one. No, it won't. It won't let us do the detect pitch because it thinks it's a rhythm, which it kind of is. So we're just going to have to kind of guess here and use this. So if we hit the play button, let's see if we can. All right, I think I know what I want to do here. I want to create a little sort of that sort of staccato rhythm, and we want this to come in from the second half. So let's record this. And because when you hold down, you can kind of get a cool sound like that when you're using the sampler. So let's come back and let's just see if this is going to work for us. I don't think I need that bit I did in the first half, but if we just come in here, we'll turn the volume up a little bit. And what I'll do also, let's play with some panning. So we'll come in here and we'll pan this over to the left, and then we'll do something different on the right. Yeah, I like it. Let's try something else. We'll do one more sampler track and we'll find some other cool sound to put in here. So we'll tap the sampler. We'll once again go in here and we'll import a sample by hitting the import button and Apple Loops. I want to find something that's almost like maybe that plonky one again. The plonky or the plonk cycles. That could have a good sound in it. All right, so we'll load that one in. We'll import this one into our sound. And maybe even just that first little plonk that we get there, like a... And again, that's the problem, is it makes you bring in too much. So what you could do is chop it somewhere else. So you could chop it out in audio share and then bring just the chopped part in here. So if you had a little bit more time, you want to play around with it, you could do that. But we'll just use this for now. And I think... Yeah, let's do something like that. I think that could be cool. So we'll hit the record. There you go. And the reason I wanted to show all of this is that a lot of people think that when you're using loops here in GarageBand, it's like, well, your music's going to sound just like everyone else's music. How do you differentiate it? How do you make your stuff sound different? Well, you do it by combining different loops. Yeah. You do it by the other thing we can do is changing up your key signature. So let's put this into B flat major because I can never play in B flat major. So that will make it a bit fun. And I think this needs to go a bit faster. So why don't we make this, say, 123, just because it's a weird tempo. And now if we play... Yeah, we got some cool sounds there. And these ones that we custom made here, these are going to be, no one else has chopped this particular part of this sample in this order and made this noise, right? I like it. It's a lot of fun to play around with. If you've never experienced using some loops and using some samples, look, I'm a guitar and a mic guy. I love creating my own sounds as well, but this is kind of cool. And then, of course, everything we've used so far has been from that pack. You can, of course, then start combining with other stuff. So this sounds like it needs kind of a cool, maybe even the Epic Cloud Formation, which is my favorite sort of pad sound here. Maybe we'll use that note there. And sometimes just playing a single note for a pad here can actually sound really cool if we just play it. So again, it's very subtle there, but just holding down that one note and moving it around a bit, we'll just solo it so you can hear what that sounds like here. Right? Fun times.